Hello, dear and beloved ones. Please subscribe to the channel and give this video a like. Brew some tea or coffee and enjoy watching. A few days after the wedding, Anna decided to surprise her husband. She hid in the closet, anticipating his reaction. But as soon as Igor entered the room, his phone rang. Anna was about to step out, but upon hearing his words, she froze in horror. She stood in front of the mirror, her heart pounding wildly. Today was her day, the day she would become Igor's wife. He was charming, attentive, and seemed sincere. His eyes gazed at her with such love that Anna had no doubts. She had found the one. The wedding was perfect. The summer sun warmed them. Guests showered the newlyweds with congratulations, and the music created a romantic atmosphere. Igor never left her side, covering her in gentle kisses. "You are the most beautiful woman in the world," he whispered in her ear, and Anna melted at his words. After the celebration, the newlyweds moved into their new home. Igor had insisted on buying it before the wedding, saying he wanted to create a cozy nest for them. The house was in a quiet neighborhood, with a spacious terrace and a large garden. Anna imagined how they would spend evenings there, admiring the sunset. "Well, my lady, do you like our new home?" Igor asked, wrapping his arms around her shoulders. "It's wonderful, Igor." "Thank you," Anna replied, pressing against him. The first days in their new home felt like a honeymoon. Igor was a caring and attentive husband, arranging romantic candlelit dinners every evening. Anna felt like the happiest woman in the world. However, at times, Igor behaved strangely, often staying late at work, taking calls in private, speaking quietly as if he didn't want her to hear. Anna attributed it to stress and a demanding job. One evening, when Igor was late again, Anna decided to surprise him. She bought his favorite cake, lit candles, and put on new lace lingerie. She wanted to add some romance to their life. Remembering how much Igor laughed at her unexpected appearances, she hid in the closet to startle him. Inside, it was dark, and the scent of cedar filled the air. Anna held her breath, preparing for his arrival. Finally, the bedroom door opened. Igor's footsteps were different, heavy, unfamiliar. Anna almost called out to him, but remembered the surprise and stayed quiet. A click. The door locked. Anna was puzzled. He had never done that before. A pang of unease pricked her heart. A sliver of light streamed through a narrow gap. Igor stood in the center of the room, his back to the closet, and pulled out his phone. "Yes, I'm here," he said quietly. His voice was different, cold and calculating. Anna tensed. Who was on the other end of the line? Why was he speaking as if afraid of being overheard? "Everything went according to plan," he continued. Those words struck her like lightning. She suspects nothing. "The wedding went perfectly, even better than I expected." She's so trusting. "Soon, we can move on to the next stage." Anna's world shattered. What did he mean? What plan? Who was he talking about? "The documents are in order. I've already started the transfer process. She'll sign anything as long as it makes me happy." Foolish, lovesick girl. Anna went numb. Was he talking about her? Had he been playing with her feelings all along? Every touch, every word, every promise a lie? Tears streamed down her cheeks. She bit her lip to keep from screaming. "No, she doesn't suspect a thing," Igor said confidently. "She trusts me completely. That's the most important part." Anna struggled to contain her emotions. The man she loved was a monster. "I'll be in touch. Don't call this number again unless it's an emergency," he finished, putting his phone away. Anna held her breath. She heard him sigh heavily. "Everything will be fine," he muttered. "It will all be over soon, and I'll get what I want." Anna couldn't take it anymore. She wanted to run out, scream, demand an explanation. But she knew. She couldn't let him know she had heard. She had to stay calm, think. Igor stood in the room for a while before turning and leaving. Anna waited until his footsteps faded, then cautiously emerged from the closet. Moonlight softly illuminated the room. Her heart pounded. She knew. Everything had changed. She couldn't let Igor suspect that she knew. She had to be careful. From that moment on, she played the role of a loving, unsuspecting wife. But secretly, she watched his every move. She noticed how often he went out in the evenings, claiming it was work or meetings with friends. He avoided discussions about finances and became irritated when she brought up the topic. One evening, as he was getting ready to leave, she asked, "Where are you going?" "Just to the office," he replied casually, avoiding her gaze. "Don't worry, I won't be long. Maybe I'll come with you?" Anna suggested in the most natural tone. Igor frowned. "No, darling, it'll be boring. Just wait for me at home." Anger simmered inside Anna, but she forced a smile. "All right," she said. When he left, she felt empty and alone. She knew she couldn't handle this on her own. She needed someone she could trust. She thought of Lena, her best friend. Lena had always supported her, given wise advice. Without hesitation, Anna picked up her phone and dialed her number. "Lena, hi," she said, trying to sound calm. "Can you talk? I really need your help." "Of course, Anya. What's wrong?" Lena asked, concern in her voice. "You sound off." Anna took a deep breath and began to tell her everything. About the happy marriage, the house, the overheard conversation, her fears. Lena was silent. When Anna finished, her friend finally spoke. "Oh no, I don't even know what to say. This is awful. But you can't go through this alone. We need to figure out what's going on." Anna nodded. She knew Lena was right. But where to start? Anna looked at her friend with anxiety. "I am scared." "Don't be," Lena said gently. "I'm here. We'll figure everything out together." Tears welled up in Anna's eyes. The realization that she had support brought her relief. "Thank you, Lena," she whispered. "I don't know what I would do without you." "Don't be silly," Lena smiled. "We're friends. Now let's decide what to do next." They discussed the situation for a long time and eventually decided to check Igor's phone. If they could access his messages and calls, they might find out who he was talking to and what he was planning. "But how will we do that?" Anna asked doubtfully. "He never leaves his phone unattended." Lena smirked. "I have an idea. I'll make him leave his phone, and you'll have time to check it." Anna hesitated. It was too risky. But she understood that this might be her only chance to learn the truth. "All right, let's try. But be careful. If Igor suspects anything, it's all over." "Don't worry," Lena assured her. The next day, Lena came over while Igor was home. They came up with an excuse to lure him into the bathroom. Anna was nervous but tried to remain calm. When Igor returned from work, she acted as naturally as possible. "How was your day?" "Terrible," Igor muttered. "Too much work. Maybe you should take a bath to relax?" "I'll make some foam." Igor hesitated at first, but eventually agreed. As soon as he entered the bathroom, Lena gave Anna a signal. Her heart was pounding, but she quickly walked over to the sink where his phone was. Grabbing it, she rushed to the bedroom and locked the door. With trembling hands, Anna entered the password. Luckily, Igor had recently changed it to their wedding date. The phone unlocked. She began scrolling through his messages. At first, nothing suspicious, word chats, texts from friends. But then, her eyes landed on a message from an unknown number. "Tomorrow, 10 p.m. The old warehouse on the outskirts. Don't forget the documents." Anna felt her heart stop. This was the plan she had overheard in Igor's phone call. "Lena, I know what to do," she said firmly. "What exactly?" her friend asked cautiously. "Tomorrow night, we're going there. I need to find out what he's hiding." "Anna, that's dangerous. You don't know who'll be there. What if it's something criminal?" "I can't live in the dark anymore, Lena. I need to know the truth." Lena let out a deep sigh. "All right, but I'm coming with you." The next day, Anna was restless. It was hard to hide her anxiety from Igor. That evening, as soon as he left, they started preparing. They dressed in dark clothes and brought flashlights and a camera. When they arrived at the warehouse, Anna felt fear creeping in. The place looked ominous. Tall walls, a rusty fence topped with barbed wire. The warehouse door was slightly open. Muffled voices came from inside. "That's him," Anna whispered. Peeking in carefully, she saw Igor. Opposite him stood a man in a dark suit. His face was hidden in the shadows. Anna pulled out the camera and started recording. Her heart pounded in her ears. "I did everything you asked," Igor said. "I married her, got access to her money. What else do you need?" "Patience, Igor. the man replied. It will all be over soon. Once we get what we need, you'll be free. And what about Anna? Igor asked. The man smirked. Don't worry. She won't be a problem anymore. Anna's world shattered. She had just heard what she feared the most. Igor never left his phone unattended. Anna knew she had to be careful. Tears welled up in her eyes, but she forced herself not to cry. She had to stay strong. She needed evidence to expose Igor. She kept recording as Igor and the unknown man discussed financial fraud. Their conversation revolved around shady dealings, details she didn't fully understand, but she was certain it was something serious. Suddenly, Igor turned in her direction. Anna quickly hid behind the wall, fearing he had noticed her. I feel like someone is watching us, Igor said warily. The man frowned. Don't be ridiculous. No one should know we're here. I just have this feeling, Igor insisted, like someone is spying on me. The man walked to the door and looked outside. Anna held her breath, hoping he wouldn't see her. Fortunately, he spotted nothing suspicious. You're just nervous, he said with a shrug. Everything is going according to plan. Don't worry. Anna felt relieved, but knew it was time to leave. She had enough evidence. She quietly touched Lena's shoulder and motioned toward the exit. Her friend nodded, and they carefully slipped out of the warehouse, heading for the car. They had barely managed to escape when Igor rushed out of the building, scanning his surroundings. Anna pressed the gas and drove off. Her heart was racing. Her life would never be the same again. The truth about Igor had shattered everything she believed in. But the tears no longer came. Instead of pain, a cold determination settled inside her. She had been betrayed, deceived, used. But along with that came resolve. She wouldn't let Igor destroy her life. He had to pay for everything. Back home, Anna tried to act as usual. She couldn't let Igor suspect anything. He must pay for what he's done, Lena said, her voice filled with anger. We have to expose him. We have a recording of his confession, Anna reminded her. It's crucial evidence, but it's not enough. We need more about his dealings, his connections. She recalled the financial documents Igor had been so careful to hide. But how could they access them? He had become even more cautious, never leaving any traces unattended. I know what to do, Lena said. We'll use his weakness. Anna had to play the role of a loving, trusting wife. She would convince Igor that she suspected nothing, that she still believed him. This would lull him into a false sense of security and give him the chance to gather the necessary information. She forced herself to smile, to speak sweetly to him, to act as if nothing had changed. Gradually, Igor let his guard down. He became less cautious. One evening, when he left for a meeting, Anna and Lena sneaked into his office. They knew they were taking a risk, but they had no other choice. They searched every shelf, every drawer. Finally, Lena found a hidden compartment behind the bookshelf. Inside was a folder filled with documents. This is it, she exclaimed, barely containing her excitement. They quickly scanned the papers. They were proof of financial fraud, fake accounts, fraudulent transactions, and large money transfers. Anna was stunned by the scale of Igor's crimes. This is enough, Lena said confidently. We have everything to put him behind bars. Anna handed over all the gathered evidence to the police. Igor's confession recording, financial documents, and information about his accomplices. You've done an incredible job, the detective told her. Thanks to you, we can expose an entire criminal network. Anna felt the end was near. She knew Igor would soon realize who had betrayed him. She prepared for the worst. One evening, he came home in a rage. He had found out that the police were investigating him, that his accounts had been frozen, that his associates had been arrested. He knew who was behind it all. You, he roared, his eyes burning with hatred. You betrayed me. Anna didn't flinch. She stood tall, looking him straight in the eye. You betrayed yourself, she said firmly. You betrayed my love, my trust. You thought you could use me, but you were wrong. Igor lunged at her, but Anna was prepared. She had called the police in advance. Within minutes, officers stormed the house and arrested him. As they led him away in handcuffs, he glared at her with pure hatred. "You'll regret this," he shouted. But Anna was no longer afraid. The trial was long, but just. Anna testified, revealing everything she had endured. The court found Igor guilty on all counts. He was sentenced to a long prison term. Anna felt relief, but also bitter disappointment. She had lost faith in love and trust. She realized that even the closest people could betray. She sold the house where she had spent so few happy days. Now, she had to start a new life, somewhere else, among new people. The long road to healing had only begun, but she knew she would make it. She had become stronger, wiser, more cautious. She had learned to trust only herself. Most importantly, she understood this. Loyalty to herself, to her principles and beliefs, was something no one could ever take away from her.